Welcome into Paul Catalina's Top 5, brought to you by Flag and Anthem. Go to flagandanthem.com. Use our promo code 365sports. Today we're talking about B storylines in the ACC. Now look, I'm structuring this as if we're writing the sitcom of college football this year. There's always an A storyline, a B storyline, and a C storyline. Think about any episode of Seinfeld and how there's a main story that kind of runs through, and then there's another one, and then there's a really small one. These are the secondary storylines of what's going on in the ACC. Tomorrow we'll do the Big 12. Wednesday we'll do the Big 10. And Thursday we'll do the SEC. Number 5. Damn it. Number 5. Thank you for correcting me, Garrett. Number 5. Will Clemson like the taste of the portal? Just a little taste. Just a taste. They got a few portal guys. A couple of them are going to be probably pretty important to their team this year. And Dabo Swinney finally relented on his previously unrelenting stance that he didn't need the portal. Eventually, the roster was going to dictate that he did. But he didn't go full tilt in, which is the best way to do it. I think the reason that Clemson has not been an ACC title contender is that they haven't used the portal to fill out the 4 or 5 spots that they needed, not 10 to 20 spots. Nobody was asking them to go full Chinese buffet on the portal. They were just saying, hey, why don't you take 4, 5, 6 guys and plug in some spots with some more experienced people instead of having to throw out true freshmen that are not as strong as you want them to be yet. Well, they've done that. Will they enjoy that little bitty taste of the portal? It can be very addicting. Ask many schools. Just that little taste. You just bump one rail of portal, and all of a sudden, you're selling your TV, and you've alienated all your friends. Oh, wait, that's cocaine. But portal can be a powerful drug, and we'll see if Clemson does like that little taste that they've taken. Number 4, how will Stanford navigate through this season? Frank Reich stepped in the spring. He is just there to drive the bus this year. The restart starts after this season. What will that look like? How do you get through a season starting when he started? And then not only that, because of the way that transfer portal rules work, and when a coach changes, you can leave, losing some of your best players. So even if they, were an okay team to start out with, which they really weren't, which is why Andrew Luck was brought in. Well, now the okayest parts of their team are gone. So what do? How do you navigate through that? Does it get really bad, or is it surprisingly good? Stanford's not going to the playoff. They're not going to contend for the playoff. They're not going to contend for the ACC based on the roster that they have. But seeing how Andrew Luck and Frank Reich navigate that thing will be very interesting. Number 3. Can Tommy Castellanos back it up? He has talked a lot of noise. He defies Bill O'Brien that he quit on the BC team last year. He's talked trash about Alabama. He said he's torn up the ACC himself for a couple years, although the actual numbers would maybe dispute that. And believe me, there's nobody on God's green earth who wants Tommy Castellanos to back it up more than this guy right here. But he said a lot of things before they played their first game in pretty much a totally new team and a totally new offense. So we'll see what happens with Tommy Castellanos down the line. Number 2 is Jeff Brohm, the portal QB king. If he can make Miller Moss as good as he made Jack Plummer and Tyler Shuck, and look, Miller Moss is heading in with better credentials than probably both of them had as they went in, that is saying something. What if he could actually recruit and develop a guy in this modern era? Jeff Brohm might be able to win some ACC football games and put themselves in the title conversation. And number 1, is Carson Beck healthy enough to win? He had a pretty serious arm injury in the postseason and says he's back and ready to go and all of that. But when you're talking about a quarterback whose arm is what they do, and Carson Beck, whose arm strength is really by far the best thing about him, because he can throw the ball healthy through 3 brick walls. He has a cannon. Does he have that full strength, and will that help Miami this year? If he is not full strength, are they good enough around him to overcome wherever he is right now in his recovery and development as Miami's QB? We'll see. That's going to do it for the top 5. We've got Andrew Blade's polls right now.